In today's video, I'm going to share with you one of the simplest and most effective 1 minute scalping strategies that you can use daily to make consistent profits in the market. It's simple and repeatable, and the best part is it requires no bias and sets up every single day within the first 2 hours of market open. So with that being said, I'll explain the full strategy and backtest this over a 1 month period to show you guys real results. So before we get into the backtesting portion of this video, I want to talk about what this strategy is and why it only uses one single candle. And there's a few steps that we want to look for when executing this simple strategy. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is marking out the 5 minute opening range. So the 5 minute opening range is the first candle that forms at New York session open. So as soon as the market opens at 9:30, the first candle that forms on the 5 minute time frame is what's going to be called our 5 minute opening range. And as you can see right here, what I'm going to mark out is the high of the candle, and I'm going to mark out the low of the candle. And this is what's called our opening range. Next, what we want to do is head on to the 1 minute time frame. So now you can see we're on the 1 minute time frame, and you can see this is made up of 5 candles. And we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to mark out the high and we're going to mark out the low of the 5 minute opening range. And you can see on the 1 minute time frame, it's just made up of 5 candles. So essentially we want to count to 5 1 minute candles, and we can mark out our high and low. Next thing that we're going to do, as I talked about, we're going to mark out the high, as you can see right here, and we're going to mark out the low of the candle, and that's what's going to be our range for the candle. This is what's called our opening range high and our opening range candle low. Once we have this marked out, we can move on to the next step. And the next step, as you can see here, once we have the high and low marked out, what we're going to be doing is waiting for a break underneath low of day, and then we're going to be looking for a retest of this level for continuations towards the downside, or we're going to be looking for a break above high of day and a retest of your 5 minute opening range for continuations back towards the highs. So simply we're looking for the break and retest of your opening range high, or we're looking for the break and retest underneath your opening range low and a continuation towards the downside. So right here, you can see this is an example towards the upside. Right here, we're going to mark out the opening range candle on the 5 minute time frame. So you can see we're counting 1 candle, 2 candles, 3 candles, 4 candles, 5 candles, and we're going to mark out the high. So we're going to mark this out, and you can see right here what we have is 1 candle, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to mark out the low. So this is going to be our opening candle range low and our opening candle range high. And now what we're going to be doing, as for the bullish side, you can see we're breaking above this key pivot high with displacement as well. And now you can see that price is retesting this level. So once price retests this level, shows that buyers are stepping in, we're going to be looking to buy off this retest, and we're going to be looking for a 1 to 2. So we're going to be looking for a 1 to 2, meaning that for every single dollar we risk, we're going to be looking for $2. So $100 risking, we're going to be looking for 200. $1,000 risk, we're going to be looking for $2,000. So it's a minimum, a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. We're going to be looking for buyers to step in off our key retest level, and we're going to be observing price action around that level. We're not just going to be blindly buying in. We're going to be waiting for strong price action around those key levels for continuation towards the upside. Or in this next example, I'm going to show you an example towards the downside. So as you can see here, this is the next example, and the exact same thing. We're going to mark out the first 5 candles, high and low. So you can see right here, we're going to mark out the high, and you can see our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to mark out the low. So this is the low of the 5 minute opening range, and this is the high of the 5 minute opening range. And you can see in this case, we break underneath with low of day. We have some displacement as well. And now we're coming back to retest this key area. Once you see that sellers are stepping in with weak price action, we're going to look to enter in with the exact same thing. So we're going to be looking for a 1 to 2 risk reward. So for every single dollar that we risk, we're going to be looking for at least $2. So in this case, if we risk $1, we're going to be looking for $2. $100, we're going to be looking for $200. So this is the exact strategy that we're going to be looking for, and it's all based off of 1 candle, which is the 5 minute opening range, and then we're going to go on to the 1 minute time frame, mark out the high and low of the first 5 minutes, and then we're going to be looking for the break and retest above your opening candle range high or below your opening candle range low. We're going to be looking for the retest and a continuation towards either the upside or the downside. So now I'm going to be back testing 1 full month worth of price action. In this case, we're just going to do last month's on SPY to make it super easy. Make sure to stay till the end of the video to see the results that this strategy can produce. And without further ado, let's get right into the back testing portion of this video. So right here that you can see I'm on the trading view chart, and we're going to be back testing 1 full month's worth of price action on SPY. And this is not just some random cherry picked month, and this is going to be last month on SPY, and I'm going to be back testing this for a full month. So I'm not sure what the results are going to be produced, but the rules I'm going to have laid out are fairly simple. As I mentioned before, we're going to mark out the opening range high and low of the first 5 minutes. We're going to drop down onto the 1 minute time frame. We're going to look for the price action around those key areas, and then we're going to look to target a minimum of a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. So let's get right into the video. So you can see right here, we're on the first day of the month. And what I'm going to do is mark out the opening range high, and I'm going to mark out the opening range low. As always, what I'm going to be looking for is the break underneath your opening candle range low, retest in a continuation, or we're going to be looking for the break above your opening range high or retest in a continuation towards the upside. So with that being said, now we can drop onto the 1 minute time frame and play out price. So you can see right here, price is clearly above our opening candle range high. What we're going to be doing is looking for the retest of this general area for this continued push back towards the upside. So right here, you can see that price never quite came down to our retest of our opening range on the 5 minute time frame. So this classifies as a no trade for the day. Now let's go on to the next session. All right, you can see we're on day number 2 now, and we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to mark out our opening candle range high, and we're going to mark out our opening candle range low. Now we can go into the 1 minute time frame and play out price action. So you can see right here that price has a super nice break underneath this opening candle range low. Now what we're going to be doing is waiting for price to retest this level, and we're going to be looking for continuations towards the downside. So you can see right there, price ended up coming back towards this retest level, but immediately got back above this opening candle range high, right? Sellers were not present at this level. So of course, if you do not see weak price action around these key areas, we're not going to be looking to take the trade. A good thing to note is that I always wait for strong price action around the key areas. I never just blindly buy off the 5 minute opening range or sell at the bottom of the 5 minute opening range low. I always wait for strong or weak price action around these key areas. And this helps me stay away from losers that I don't have to take, is by understanding the price action around the key areas. If I don't see buyers present or don't see sellers present, I'm not going to end up taking the trade. So what I can do if price is back inside its 5 minute opening range is a break back below a retest of this key area for continuations lower, or I'm going to be waiting for a break back above, strong price action for continuations back towards the highs. Let's keep playing out the tape. And you can see right there, price never end up having a strong candle closure above your opening range high. We never end up getting back underneath your opening candle range low. So right here, this classifies as another no trade day. We never showed some displacement above your opening candle range high. We never got back underneath your opening candle range low. So now let's go on to day number 3. So you can see we're on day number 3. And as always, we're going to mark out our opening candle range high. And now we're going to mark out our opening candle range low. And now we can go on to the 1 minute time frame. Play out the tape. So you can see right off the bat, price is now breaking above our opening candle range high. Now we're going to wait to see if buyers step in off this key area. So this is going to be very key for price to see if we have a nice reaction off your opening candle range high. And what we can also mark out here in combination with their opening candle range high are these down close candles, which should act as an order block as well. So what we'll be looking for is the nice reaction around this key area, and we'll be looking for continuations towards the highs. So right here, you can see that we have a super strong candle, right? This can also be our confirmation candle as well. What we can be looking for is a 1 to 2. So we can have a risk just underneath this key area, and we can be looking for a 1 to 2 towards the upside. Now we can play out the tape. So you can see price had a super solid move towards the upside. We waited for extra confirmation on this one, and we had a nice trade towards the upside. So now let's go into day number 4. So you can see we're on day number 4, and we're going to do the same thing as per usual. Mark out our opening candle range high and our opening candle range low. And now we're going to go into the 1 minute time frame and play out price. So you can see so far price has a super solid push towards the downside. We're breaking underneath our opening candle range on the 5 minute with nice displacement as well. What we're going to be doing is looking for the retest of this key area for more continuations back towards the downside. So you can see price is now back at our key retest level. So far, we're seeing no signs of weakness around this key area. So we're going to keep playing out the tape. And you can see right here, there's no signs of weak price action around these key areas. And now price is back inside the range of the 5 minute candle as well. So this is classified once again as a no trade day on SPY. So now let's go on to day number 5. So you can see we're on day number 5. And as always, we're going to mark out our opening candle range high and we're going to mark out our opening candle range low. Now we can go into the 1 minute time frame and see the price action around these key areas. So you can see right here, price broke above this key area with no displacement. And you can see we quickly got back inside its 5 minute opening range. So we're still going to be looking for either the break underneath its opening candle range low with displacement or a reclaim of your opening candle range high and a move back towards the upside. So far, price is breaking back above this key area. We are seeing some buyers stepping in off this key area, which is our opening candle range high. In this case, we want to wait for some extra confirmation because there's not too much displacement. And we really want to see if price can gravitate back towards this key area. So right here, you can see after this hammer stick candle, we also have our bullish confirmation candle as well. So this is where we can go long with a stop just to break below this key area. And of course, we can look to target a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. Now we can play out the tape. And you can see price ended up hitting our target fairly nicely for another win on SPY. And you can see the nice reaction off our 5 minute opening range. And then we end up breaking above using our 1 minute order block as a retest for that continued push back towards our 1 to 2 final target. Now let's go on to week number 2. So we're now on day number 6. We should be having the hang of this by now, where we're going to do high and low of the first 5 minutes, go into the 1 minute time frame and play out price. You can see price so far, we're breaking above our opening candle range high. We're coming back down to retest. What we're going to be doing is waiting for strong price action around this key area for that confirmation move back towards the upside. So you can see that's where I get in with a nice strong confirmation candle off our key area. We're going to be looking to buy here with a stop just to break below, and we're going to be looking to target a 1 to 2 towards the upside. And you can see right there, price ended up hitting a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio for another super solid scalp towards the upside. A super quick move, nice confirmation off our 5 minute opening range high, right? We're going to be waiting for strong price action around our key levels, as I mentioned. So now we had another win on the day, and now let's go on to the next day. Now we're on day number 7, marking out the opening range high and low, going on to the 1 minute time frame and playing out tape. You can see right here so far, we're breaking underneath our opening candle range low on the 5 minute time frame. With displacement, what we're going to be doing is looking for the retest of this key area for that continued pushback towards the downside. So you can see price is now coming back to our retest level, but you can see right here, no signs of sellers stepping in off this key area. So once again, there's going to be a no trade on SPY towards the downside. Now let's go into day number 8. So now we're on day number 8, marking out our opening candle range high, opening candle range low. We're now going to go into the 1 minute time frame and wait for a break above and below our key areas. So you can see that right off the bat, we're breaking above our key area on the 1 minute opening range. Let's see if we get any strong price action around this key area for that continued pushback towards the upside. You can see that price didn't get above, no strong confirmation candle. Now we're getting back below. So now what we're going to be looking for, still a reclaim of this key area for continuation, break underneath this key area for a move back towards the downside. So you can see right here, price super strong push towards the downside right here underneath our opening candle range low on the 5 minute. This is a form of displacement, as you can see right here. What we're going to be doing is looking for the retest of this key area for that continued pushback towards the downside. So you can see right there, price got above our key area, showed no signs of weakness right around the first time it touched it, but it got back underneath this key area, as you can see right here. Super strong confirmation with this really weak candle, as you can see right here. That's where we can look to go in short with a stop just to break above, and we can look for a 1 to 2 risk reward for a move towards the downside. And you can see right there, price end up having a super solid move towards the downside. And you can see how the price action was developing around these key areas. Once we got underneath our 5 minute opening range, you can see price end up using this area. Super nice retest right here. We came back once more for this retest again of our 5 minute opening range. And then we end up having that nice continued push all the way towards the downside for another solid 1 to 2 for the day. So now let's go on to day number 9. Okay, so you can see we're on day number 9, and as always, opening range high, opening range low, go into the 1 minute time frame and play out price action. See, so far, we have a nice move towards the downside. We're breaking underneath our opening candle range low with displacement. As you can see here, what we're going to be doing is looking for the retest for that continued push towards the downside. You can see prices coming back to our key area. We're going to be waiting for weak price action. You can see so far, nice candle so far with this upper wick. Now we want to wait for a confirmation candle. Right here, you can see this is where we get that confirmation candle. Now this is where we can go short with a stop just to break above. And we can look to target a 1 to 2 towards the downside. Play out the tape. You can see right there, we end up having a super solid push towards the downside. After our clear rejection of our 5-minute opening range, we also waited for a confirmation candle as well. And we had that nice continued push towards the downside. So that was another super solid win on the day. Now let's go on to day number 10. So you can see we're on day number 10 and we're going to mark out our opening candle range high, opening candle range low. Now let's go on to the 1-minute time frame. So you can see once again, another solid push towards the downside. We're having a lot of displacement towards the downside. What we're going to be doing is looking for the retest of this key area for that continued push towards the downside here. So you can see right there, price ended up gravitating towards the downside, never came back for the retest of our opening candle range low. So this is classified as a no trade day on SPY. Now let's go on to the next day. Okay, so we're on day number 11 and we can mark out our opening candle range high and we can mark out our opening candle range low, go onto the 1-minute time frame and play out tape. So you can see that so far what we have is our opening candle range low. You can see we have multiple reactions around this key area, but we finally have this candle closure on this key area. We also have a weak candle closure as well. What we can do is wait for a little bit more confirmation that price wants to head towards the downside. We can actually wait for one more candle as well. You can see super nice push towards the downside. What we can do is go short off this key area with a stop break above, and we can look to target a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio towards the downside. And you can see right there, price ended up having another solid push towards the downside for another win on the day. Now let's go on to the next day that I have. We're on our next day here and we can mark out our opening candle range high and our opening candle range low. Now we can go back onto the 1-minute time frame, play out the tape. So far, you can see that price really in the first 30 minutes kind of consolidating around these key areas. No real strong candle closure above this key area. This is your first strong candle confirmation above this key high. Now what we can be doing is looking for the retest, strong price action around this key area for that continued push back towards the highs. So you can see right there, that's where our sign to get in. After this strong confirmation candle, what we can be looking for is a entry with a stop just to break below. And now we can look for a 1 to 2 towards the upside. Now we can play out the tape. And you can see price end up having a super solid push towards the highs for another win on the day. Now let's go on to day number 14. Now we can mark out our opening candle range high, our opening candle range low, go into the 1-minute time frame and play out price. See that so far price is breaking above this key area. What we can be doing is looking for the retest of this key area for a continuation higher. Immediate rejection right back inside the middle of the range, so there's going to be no trading opportunity. Right, price goes towards the low of the range, immediately gets bought back up. So right here, so far, we have a clear 5-minute high and low being put in. And we're inside the middle of the range, so what we're going to be doing, waiting for strong price action, break above, weak price action, and close below for a continued push towards the downside. So as you can see right here, clear chop in the markets. There's really no edge on this day when price is this choppy. So this classifies as me for no trading opportunity in the markets. So now let's go on to the next day. So you can see we're on day number 14 so far. We're going to mark out our opening candle range high, opening candle range low, go back onto the 1-minute time frame and play out price. You can see really strong push towards the downside. So immediately right off the bat, clear displacement towards the downside. Let's see if price can come back up towards this key area for that continued push back towards the lows. So you can see right here, clear trend day towards the downside. There's no entry for the 5-minute opening range. So now let's go into the next day. So you can see we're on day number 15. Mark out the opening range high, opening range low, go back onto the 1-minute time frame, play out the tape. See, so far, clear move towards the downside, clear displacement underneath this opening candle range low. Now let's wait for the retest of this key area for continuation lower. So yeah, you can see right here so far price has a super solid push right back towards this key area. You can see these upper wicks so far respecting its opening candle range high. So now let's wait for a weak candle confirmation to look for an entry on SPY. So you can see right there, we get our entry confirmation. Now we can look to short on this key area with a stop just to break above, and we can look to target a 1 to 2. So right here, you can see we end up finally hitting a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio, which also made a new low of day as well for another solid win on the day. So now let's go on to day number 16. So you can see we're on day number 16. We're going to mark out our opening candle range high. We're going to also mark out our opening candle range low. We can go back onto the 1 minute time frame and play out price. You can see so far a really solid push towards the upside. We're breaking above our opening candle range high with displacement. Now let's wait for the retest of this key area for that continued push back towards the upside. So you can see that price is now coming back down into our opening candle range high. Let's see if we have any strong price action around this key area, which is going to be key if we're going to be looking for a move back towards the upside. And yeah, you can see right there, really no strong reaction around this key area. Now we're back inside its 5 minute opening range. So once again, this is classified as a no trade. And now let's go on to the next session that we have. So you can see we're on the next day here. And as always, mark out our high, mark out our low of the first 5 minutes, go on to the 1 minute time frame, play out price. So you can see so far having a nice break above our opening candle range high. What we're going to be doing is looking for the retest of this key area for that continued push back towards the upside. So far, you can see no real strong reaction around this key area, right? We had a nice wick right here, but no kind of confirmation candle. And now we're back inside this range. Let's see if we can break back above for a push higher, or if we're going to break underneath this key area for that continued push lower. So you can see right here so far, really nice break back underneath this key area. What we have is nice displacement towards the downside now. So we'll be waiting for the retest of this key area for that continued push lower. Once again, no real weak price action around this general area. Now it's getting underneath, so potentially we could be looking for the retest of this key area for a move lower. So right here, we get that really weak candle confirmation. That's where we can get in with a stop just a close above this key area, and we can look to target a 1 to 2 towards the downside. So you can see that price almost got stopped out right there, right? Just came right back into our key area. So you can see the weak price action around this key area now. So what we want to do is wait for that weak price action for that continued push lower. Once again, another rejection off our opening candle range low. So you can see that the sellers are present here. Now we're making these lower highs. Now we like to see that continue push lower down towards our key areas on SPY. So as you can see right there, end up being a super solid trade towards the downside on SPY. Now let's go on to the next day that we have. So you can see we're on day number 18 here. We're closing in on the end of the month so far. We're going to mark out our opening candle range high, opening candle range low, go on to the 1 minute time frame and wait for a break or below that key areas. So you can see right so far, we haven't really had a strong break above or below our key areas. So far right now, we also had red folder news at 10 a.m. So what we're going to be doing is looking for potential retest off this key area for that push towards the downside. So you can see so far, this is the weakest candle of the day towards the downside. Now we're going to be looking for the retest of this key level for that continuation lower. So you can see right here, price has a weak candle confirmation. So far, the next candle immediately got bought up. Let's wait for some weaker price action here. Right here, this is where you can get in with a stop just to break above, and we can look for a 1 to 2 towards the downside. But you can see right there, price ended up having a nice push towards the low of day, but never had some more continuation and then just got back above our key levels for a stop out of the day. So now let's go on to the next day that we have. So you can see right here, we're going to mark out our opening candle range high, our opening candle range low, go back onto the 1 minute time frame and wait for strong price action around key areas. So right here, you can see that we're having a few touches around your opening candle range on the low on the 5 minute time frame. Now we're getting that break underneath. So now let's wait for the retest of this key area for that continued push towards the downside. So you can see right there, we have a super nice reaction, couple upper wicks right here. We also have our bearish confirmation towards the downside as well. That's where we can look to get in with a stop, just a break above, and we can look for a 1 to 2 towards the downside. So as you can see right there, another solid win on SPY towards the downside. Now let's go on to the last and final day for the month on SPY. As you can see, we're on my final day here. And as always, we're going to mark an opening range high, opening range low, go back onto the 1 minute time frame and play out price. You can see that so far we're breaking above our opening candle range. You can see we have a nice reaction right here once again. And now we're having a confirmation candle as well that price wants to head back towards the upside. This is where we can get in with a stop just to break below. And we can look to target a 1 to 2. So right there, I just finished up my final day on SPY for a full month's worth of back testing. Now let's go and see the results that this strategy produced. So right here, as you can see so far for the last month's worth of back testing, we produced over $12,000 in profits for a 91% win rate. Now let's go and check out these statistics. So you can see this is the overview of one whole month's worth of price action, over $12,000 in profit, 12 trades, 11 wins, 1 loss, a 91% win rate. So you can see that this is the performance summary. We had over $12,000 in profit, total trades 12. We also had 11 wins. As you can see right here, we had 1 loss for a 91% win rate of the strategy. The average winning trade, as you can see right here, $1,200 for a $500 loss. As I mentioned, this is a 1 to 2. So as you can see right here, if you were to trade the strategy for the past month and execute it properly, it would have netted you a 91% win rate. Obviously, this is not going to be the normal results for this strategy. It's not going to have a 90% win rate month over month, but you can see right here in the past month, if you executed this properly, it would have been very profitable. All you need is a 50% win rate with the 1 to 2. In this case, it presented a 90% win rate with the 1 to 2. As I mentioned, it's not always going to be like this, so don't expect results like this month over month. But if you can have a couple good months out of the year, you can make so much money in the markets. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Make sure to go back test this yourself. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, I appreciate if you guys drop me a like and sub, and I'll see you guys next week for a brand new video. Peace.